Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to today's session from CMS Tech Talks on AI in Business Intelligence. I'm Tharuka Gunasekara, Senior BI Engineer at CMS. So, first of all, we all know what AI is, and AI is being used by all of us in many occasions. But let me address the audience who's interested to know what business intelligence is. So, what business intelligence is, this is the definition from IBM. So, what BI does is we connect data into the organizational data, and we do the data preparation and also applying the business logics into our data, and then we do the analyzing and providing the necessary information as dashboards to provide meaningful insights to our organizations. For example, organizations use this data to identify the market trends and figure out opportunities where they can yield more businesses. Or else they can use this to identify the patterns of their customer behaviors. And also they can figure out customer satisfaction and see how their products are moving on and take the necessary data driven decisions. So, this is what basically what BI does. And there are specific tools for business intelligence to achieve this goal. So there are popular BI tools in the industry. Power BI is from Microsoft, which is some industry leader for quite some long time. And we have Tableau as another popular tool, and Click, and Domo, and also there are other tools like Looker Studio, and also Sisense, and there's a lot. So these BI tools are being used across various aspects. And with the hype of AI, these BI tools are using AI in order to leverage the capabilities of AI and enhance what they're already doing as traditional BI tools. So let's see who is getting benefits from these BI tools. The data professionals and also the end users. Let's see how the BI tools are leveraging AI. For end users are the persons who use the reports as we produce in the business intelligence solutions. So for the end users, we can give them insights that supports to make smarter and faster decisions. And also we can provide them natural language query-based cards where they don't need to know any other special codes or any other queries. It's just the plain language. It's just conversational analytics that they can use. And for data professionals, how does AI helps in the business intelligence tools? So data professionals in each and every stage in business intelligence can use AI, starting from data preparation and moving on to data modeling and also creating enhanced visualizations using AI. So for today's session, I'll be using Power BI and show you how Power BI leverages AI as a BI tool. So in data preparation, Power BI uses AI-powered data preparation by using AutoML and also specific AI insights like cognitive analytics. I'll show you in a few minutes how we use it for data preparation. And then we have the natural language query that we can just ask questions directly from our data in plain language. And then we can provide there are a set of AI-driven insights that are covered by AI. So that supports even the data professionals and the end users to get more insights from that data. And also, we have AI assistants. So Power BI has Copilot as the AI assistant that supports both end users and also the data professionals. And now let's move on how Power BI uses AI in a demo. So let me open my Power Query editor. So Power Query editor is editor that we use in Power BI to do the data manipulations. I have two data sets. One is hotel reviews and other one is sales related data. So these two data sets are generated from ChatGPT when I give the relevant scheme. So this data set has customer ID, room number, room type, and the review. And the sales data consists of transaction ID, date values, and also dimensions that are related to product and the metrics like prices and also customer related data and this geographic data as well. So first, let me start with the hotel reviews dataset and show you a quick example on how we can use AI in data preparation. Let's say you need to extract the last two digits of the customer ID. In order to do this, we just only need to type what we need in a column as an example. So that's quite easy. All you have to do is just go to Add Column, and we have this icon here to select Column from Examples. When you click it here, I'm going to select From Selection because I'm only interested in the customer ID values. So I'm going to add an example value, so the last two digits, and sometimes you might need to add some more values, but this time Power BI recognized that I needed only the last two digits and Power BI created the column for me. So once you review, you can just click on OK. And now I'm going to remove the previous customer ID and replace it with what I have here right now. So it's quite easy. We move it to the beginning. So that's my first demonstration on data preparation. Now, let's move on to the other AI insights that can be used for data preparation. Now, we are given a review column that has various reviews given by our customers. So let's say we need to take the sentiment scores based on these reviews. So that's quite easily be done by few clicks in AI Insights. So Power BI has three options: text analytics, vision, and Azure machine learning. So to get the sentiment scores, all I need to do is use text analytics. And here we have three options to detect language or either find the sentiment score, or we can extract the key phrases. So for this demonstration, I'm focusing on getting the sentiment score based on my reviews here. So I've got my options. So I'm going to select sentiment score sentiment. And Power BI has figured out that I need this column to be my review column. So I'm going to keep it as it is. And you need to have a premium capacity to use AI Insights. Since I have premium capacity, it's being used by default. So I'm going to click on OK. And let it give some time to load. So it checks for data privacy, and I'm going to ignore the privacy level for this demo and click on Save. So if we move on to the other functions that we have under AI Insights, that's Vision and Azure Machine Learning. So from Vision, you can tag images. If you give a URL or a base 64 value regarding an image, Power BI can tag the image and give you with a confidence value. And then you can decide which image tag that you can use based on the given URL. That can be used easily to categorize your images. And for Azure Machine Learning, you need to have an Azure subscription that is being available to you, and you need to create machine learning models either right from AutoML or code, and then create an endpoint to connect with Power BI query. Okay, now I have my sentiment score. I'm going to round this because it has multiple decimal points. So I'm going to round it to like 2 decimal points to make it more user-friendly. So let's give it some time for that. So while that happens, so sentiment score is ranged from 0 to 1, while 0 being the most negative reviews, and 1 being the most positive values. That is how the sentiment score ranges based on the given values. Okay, now I have my rounded value. I'm going to do the same, to remove this column and keep my rounded value. That's my sentiment score. So if you check some random values, okay, 0.1, it's quite low. If you check what this review really is, it's explaining that the room was spacious and everything was clean, but there was an issue with the air condition and it was noisy. It's quite negative. So it's been given a lower score for the sentiment score. And if we check quite a higher value, so it's been quite good, and it does have an issue. So, but it has more positive values if we compare with the other ones. And if we check on the ones with the highest sentiment scores, this seems friendly staff, spotless, and this is highly recommended. So this is a total positive value. So sentiment score figured out that it's a total positive value. Okay, so now let's see. So this is regarding a hotel booking. Let's say your hotel management wants to extract the improvement points out of this review. For that, you can use machine learning. And also, do you know that we can use ChatGPT for this? Not that you need to type the prompt in somewhere else, you can type it inside Power BI itself. So let's see how we can do it. So I'm going to create a blank query, and I'm going to get my advanced editor where you can add your M code. So each step is recorded as an M code. And I have a query, an M code that I created just from ChatGPT, asking for me to create a function that I can use ChatGPT API inside Power BI. So let me just quickly show you what's going on and then explain the code. Okay, I have no errors. I'm going to click done. And now I have created it. I'm going to rename this as ChatGPT function. And now I'm going to call this function to my reviews table. So I'm going to click on Add Column and invoke this custom function I created. So I'm going to use the column name as improvement notes. And then I'm going to call the function ChatGPT. And here I need to input the prompt question as a text. This is quite similar how we ask questions from ChatGPT when we are just using the portal itself. So I need improvement points. So I'm going to ask, what are the improvement points in the given feedback? And only include the improvement points. Okay, well, let's see what do we get. So for the input, I should add the reviews column. going to click on OK. So it's going to take some time to load. Meanwhile, let me show you the code that I just used. So this is an encode that I generated from ChatGPT. I just mentioned you earlier as well. So what it does, it takes this prompt question as an input parameters, these prompt questions and the prompt input, just as you saw. And I need to have an API key from Open APIs, from Open API keys. And then if you are out of credits, you might need to buy some credits to get this API key working. And then you have the API URL, which allows you for chat conclusions. And here I have the authorization part, which allows with the API key. And right here, I have the request body, which allows me to select the model that I prefer. For this one, I'm using GPT-4. And the messages, I'm invoking the prompt question and the prompt input that the user is going to input. And I have used a 50 number of maximum tokens. If you had some lower values, it doesn't quite properly work. So at least use 50 for your token count. And then below we have the JSON components. So this is what the mcode does. Now let's see whether it has worked. Okay, now I have given pretty much of these reviews. Now let's see how this has been working. Let's compare some of these reviews. Okay, let's pick this. And if we read through this point right here, it has mentioned about an issue with the air conditioning. That's noisy and that's been disturbing the customer. So it needs some maintenance. So the improvement notes, ChatGPT has given us as improvement note that there needs an improved maintenance of the air conditioner to reduce the noise. That's right. And let's pick another one. So, and positive ones is there, and then the modern downside was the room service took long time to call. They can improve the speed of service. If you check here, ChatGPT gave us that we need to improve the speed of room service delivery. So that's true. So that is basic. Oh, and just one thing. So if this one, we had just one sentiment score, it's one of the best feedback we got, all positives, and ChatGPT has figured out that the feedback does not indicate any areas to improve. So this is quite easy for you to share with your hotel management. Now let's see how we can quickly deliver based on what we found right here. Now let me close and apply. And this directs to the canvas here. So let it load. Since we're using AI functions, it takes a little bit of time to load your data into the canvas. Now, my next move is to show you how the hotel management can get quick insights and make their decisions more quickly and take the relevant actions to avoid taking more negative feedback from their customers. Now let's see that. It's taking a little while. Okay, just loaded. So I check my hotel reviews data set. Now I have my improvement notes. Let me quickly create a few cards. I'm going to add room number. row type, and my improvement notes, I need this to be a table card. And I don't need this to be summarized. And I need to add a slicer for my sentiment scores. Should be a slicer. So let me move this. Okay, so how can we take insights so quick? Let's say your hotel management is wants to check the lower sentiment scores. So let's say they want to check like 4, below 4. So you can just quickly slice your data and see which areas they need to improve and which rooms have these issues. So they can directly provide the maintenance staff that you need to check these rooms and make the improvements. So this is quite quick and quite easy for you to get insights from based on the AI in business intelligence. Now, let me share another cool visualizations that we can use in Power BI. Let me create a new page and I'm going to access AI visualizations in Power BI. We can access these visuals even from this drop-down, from this section under AI visuals, or else we can try from this build icons right here. Or else you can clearly see if you move on to the Insert tab, the AI visuals right here as well. So if you click on, let me start with one visual type, Q&A. So Q&A, as the name suggests, it lets you ask questions from your data in natural language. So you can just ask questions from your data with plain English. Let me ask total sales of my data set. And also you can see some suggestions that Power BI has recognized. So I'm going to add total sales and ask that question from my Q&A visual. Now it just loaded. Either you can see the visual and you can just explore how your data is, or else if you think this is useful for your report, you can just add it by clicking this icon right here. And then it's just a standard visual, then you can use it in your report as a normal card. And now I'm going to try again my Q&A visual and show you another example for this. I'm going to try calendar day. Okay, now I got an error. A red underline is of course an error. Why that really is because Q&A visual didn't identify what calendar means, because it figures out the existing column names and also some synonyms that Q&A has suggested. So to fix such issues, you only need to do is teach Q&A that you need to figure these are the similar terms. This is really helpful when your business users are planning to use Q&A visual because they use their business terms. So for these two data sets, I'm only interested in the sales data, so I'm going to remove the hotel reviews from the Q&A. And then let me show you how you can add synonyms based on the current fields. So for category, and Power BI has given us some suggestions. You can add them just by clicking the plus icon right here. And then you get this pop-up. So you can support your team members that these synonyms can be used across your workspace. So they don't need to add again the synonyms. So I'm going to click OK for this. And then if you think there's something else that you need to add for the business terms, you can just scroll down and see other dimensions or metrics that you think that will be helpful. So I had an issue with date because I was using calendar date word, going to add that word here and click on plus icon. Okay, now I have added all dimensions that I think the business really needs. So if you're good with it, then you can try the other features. You can teach relationships, you can create relationships in Q&A, and also you can teach Q&A, just as I did. So now it has figured out that calendar date column. Calendar date means the date column. And it has created a line chart for me and figure out that it should be a trend chart based on the date and the total sales. And also, let's say if you have your team members have added other questions, you can check them and review the questions. And also, and when this suggest questions supports you when you initially click the Q&A visual, and then you saw some blue color icons there. You can suggest questions here and let the initial load has those questions. In case if you think your business, the end users might be using those questions, that would be helpful for them. So I'm done with the setup. I'm going to click close here and let Power BI Q&A visual load with the new settings. So let me ask the same question again now. Now it just suggested me the question. So I have the card, I'm going to add it here. Now I'm good with it. Let me try another way that we can use Q&A. So I need total sales by category. Okay, it gave me this chart type because it suggested this is good, but I need something else. I need a tree map. So I'm going to add as a tree map. So Power BI just created that for me. So Q&A is really helpful that you can create cards instantly if you know your metrics and you can even teach Q&A. So I'm going to keep this visual, and now I'm going to try another visual, an AI visual that is going to create me an executive summary with minimal effort. So it's the smart narrative card right here. So I'm going to try the custom part, not the Copilot. So you need to have some visualizations in your dashboard in your report before you create the the narrative card. So based on your values, the narrative card creates the executive summary for you. And you can add your own. Let's say I don't have anything related to geography metrics, and I think I should add something for the executive summary. So let's say I need to show the states. So I'm going to add top sales from, and here you can add the dynamic value. Going to add state with state with the highest total. Say okay, just suggested me. Click it. I got the result of state. I'm going to click save. So now it's there in my executive summary card. And now the final visual I'm going to add is another Q&A to support my end users. So this is supportive for the data professionals to create the visualizations. Now I'm going to add Q&A. Now I'm going to add Q&A to my end users. So I'm going to click on buttons and add Q&A right here. Let me make it a little bit larger. And you need to make sure that the action is pointed as Q&A. So it's done. So I'm good with this report. I'm going to rename this as sales details. Okay. And now let me show you another AI visual that you can use to figure out the root causes. For example, let's say we have total sales and we need to know what is causing, what is this made out of? Like what is the distribution across like different dimensions? So for that, decomposition tree supports you. So all you need to do is add the metrics that you are interested in. So I'm interested in total sales, which add it, and then I need to add the dimensions that I'm interested in to see. So for this, I'm going to add, let's say we add category and maybe city and customer gender. Let's see if we can add any other things. Okay, I'm going to add state as well. Okay, payment method too. Let's see how that works. And now I added all my metrics and dimensions. Let's see how this works. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Okay. So once you add your dimensions, you get a plus icon here that you can click, and then you have the other dimensions that you can set by your own, or else you can use the AI splits. So if you try high value, it gives you the next highest dimension that breaks down with total sales. Let's see how it works. And if you click low, it will be the vice versa. To click on highest value, you get gender as a highest split. And next, let's try male and the highest values. It's the category. And then it's giving me the path creating male and the highest one is electronics. Click on next, it's state. And you can go on with what is with the card. And let me expand this. Okay. And if you select female and you want to see how the split happens, it just changed because for females, female gender, the split for total sales is different. The flow is different. So that supports you to identify how these sales have been distributed, and you can make the decisions based on that. So let me rename this page as decom. And now let me show you how this can be a filtration, can be used also as a filtration for other dashboards. That you need to make this dashboard a page that is drill through. So I'm going to change this as a drill through page, and it needs to drill through from total sales because that is the metric I'm planning to use from my decomposition tree. So I've added my changes and I got this icon here to go back into my decomposition tree chart. And now I have this option, so you can either try other dimensions and see how this moves on. So I'm interested in to see how office supplies filters. So let's see how the details going. It just filtered. You can cross-check the filters with this filter panel. So it just filters for the selected ones here. So you can see in details how your sales have been across other dimensions like date and other ones here. So that's another cool thing that we can do with AI visuals. And not only that, there's some more. Now let me remove all these filters and show you another feature that is so specified to the line charts that's based on the date. So for line charts, there are specific options that we can use. For example, let's say you want to forecast for the next few months how my sales is going to be. For this, you need to have a minimum of 12 data points. And all you need to do is enable these. And the Power BI shows you how your next points are going to be. So it has these confidence levels and other values that you can adjust. And also, there's another feature that we can use to identify anomalies. So you can use forecast and anomalies both at once. You can try only one. So I'm going to switch off the forecast, this is the toggle, and then click on the anomalies. So for anomalies, you get various points here that Power BI recognizes as anomalies, where you have different data changes. So you can change the sensitivity and see how the data change is. If you are interested to see the higher, even the lower data change, you can increase the sensitivity or else skip it. And you can add explain by dimensions if you want to see any interested dimensions that is causing this anomaly. And even without adding any dimensions, you can just click these icons and see what is causing this anomaly. It's just as simple. So it gives you possible explanations for this. So state, Texas, there's an unusual value, high, and then the payment methods and categories. So this helps you figure out if there are any data quality issues, or else if your end user has questions why this is an anomaly, you can give an explanation of it. And not only that, you can provide, let's say you have interested to see what is causing this increase. Maybe that's due to a campaign, or maybe that's due to another reason. So you can click on Analyze and click on Explain Increase. So this supports you that the given selected date range and what is causing this increase. So this across various dimensions that you have in your data set. Across payment methods, if you see, so the cash payments and PayPal payments are quite high, but the credit card is quite low. But this is causing a quite high value. And also, if you scroll down, you have various dimensions that's causing this increase. So if you're interested in these cards to be in your dashboard, you can just click on this icon and add them into your report. So that's basically what we can do with line charts, the date-related line charts. So those are the ones that we can try on Power BI Desktop. But not only that, we can use AI features in Power BI Service as well. Let's see how we can do it. So I'm going to hide this page for since I'm interested only in these two pages, how it works in Power BI Service. So I'm going to publish this into my workspace. First you need to change. First need to save and then publish your report. So I'm going to select my workspace and let it publish. Now it's published. I'm going to select the report and let it load in Power BI Service. Okay, just loaded. Now I have all the functionalities that I added when using my Power BI Desktop. And let me show you how we can get some more insights when we use Power BI Service. So you can get more insights from this more options and click on Get Insights. Power BI recognize insights based on the cards that you already have here, especially the anomalies, any trends, or the KPI visuals. So these identifies the anomalies and also the trends, the recent trends, the steeps, the long trends, and also the KPI, summary of KPI analysis. So that's a cool feature. And also, not only that, you can let Power BI Service create reports for you based on your semantic models. So semantic models are the data models or data sets that are in Power BI Service. So I'm going to my workspace, going to scroll down. This is my demo, this is my semantic model. and I'm going to click on Auto Create Report. So Power BI lets me create a report. Now it has been using the hotel reviews. Either you can try selecting the sales data in the initial load. So Power BI has generated this whole report made without any effort. So that's, if you're interested in this report, you can save it and or edit if you need to do any other changes. So this is how we can leverage Power BI in AI in Power BI. So that comes to the end of my demonstration. And do you have any questions for me regarding this? Feel free to ask me questions. Any questions? Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. And
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
see you use the Open API, right?
Yes.
So how do you secure data? Because you are exposing data to the Open API, right?
Yes. If you saw, there was a security alert. Let me show you. Yeah. Yes. So let me go to the setting. Since I ignored, it might not show. There was a window showing that we can suggest the settings for the data privacy. I'm not sure that you noticed that. I ignored it because of the demonstration, but you can provide an option to go through the organizational level or any other authorization. So I'm not sure that that will pop up because I ignored. So that is how we can secure the data. Hope that answered your question. Any other questions?
So Tharuka, when you integrate OpenAI and ChatGPT, let's say you run this function for millions of records, right? Does it mean that it would be called million of times and you'd be charged for it?
Yes, that's right. Because the API key, each time I call it, it charges, and also depends on the model. It charges the charge based on that. So that is going to occur you a charge.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions from the audience? Seems like a no. So if you're interested in knowing the M code and the stuff that I use, feel free to DM and ask the code, or else you can just ask ChatGPT and generate the code for you as well. And thank you so much for joining for today's session, and have a good day.